Hello.
Hello.
Wow.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. And I must say, you look quite cute in this picture. You look calm. In the afternoon, you look like you went to go and do wrestling. WWF. All right. So tell us a little bit about you. I want your background. Tell us about what you do. Tell us about your faith. And tell us about how EndSARS as a campaign has affected your life.
So my name is Anastasia Stevens and I live in Lagos. I run a cleaning
Lagos.
agency. Yes, I do. I run a
Really?
yeah. I run a cleaning agency, so that's what brought me to Onitsha to work on my contract. So I decided to go to my old church and ask questions. And then I found out that they've refused to say anything the SARS, about the SARS problem. And when it comes to my faith, I'm a spiritual person. I'm not a religious person. I believe there is a God, but I do not believe in the history that backs God. I do believe that people need to have their own right to worship the way they feel they want to believe in whatever they want to. But the church, I feel like, is constricting, is too political, and is too restricting. It makes people suicidal sometimes. And as a child, I've gone to the church, and honestly, I've gone through the depression. I know what depression feels like. The church will make you feel that. They make you feel really less of yourself. So I decided that I would believe in my own faith.
How did the church at any point make you feel less than yourself or depressed? Can you please throw some light on that, because I'm particularly interested in that.
Okay, so as I was growing up, they are always hinting on the fact that a woman shouldn't speak when a man is talking, or that this is where men sit, this is where women sit. And some of my characters I do exhibit is a little bit tomboyish. So they are always really there to hint on the fact that I shouldn't behave like a man. I should behave more as a woman, feminine. And then they'll give me some biblical aspect of it that backs it up. And then at one time, a religious person told me in church that I shouldn't dress I shouldn't dress the way I was dressing because my arms were showing, that if I get raped, it's my fault because I tempted the man.
Wow.
So that was my first time deciding that church isn't for me. And I do believe in God that whatever they're saying is not going to make me deter my faith, but I'm not going to do it in a religious aspect or a church's aspect. And then I witnessed one time when the reverend was saying things like, if you give 1,000 naira and you give 2,000 naira, don't you know that the person who gave 2,000 naira blessing is more than the person who gave 1,000 blessing?
Where did you, which church was this?
That
I
was
live away
it's
in
still
Lagos.
here in Anambra State. It's
Oh,
still here in
oh, oh.
Anambra State. So it was kind of confusing how God tend to divide blessings by how much you've given to the church. And then you walk up to your Reverend Father and say, I want you to pray for me. But the Reverend Father will end up praying for the person that brought gifts instead of you, even though the person came after you did. So I felt it was too political and too money motivated. And in some schools they build, not even a normal person can afford the schools. It's way too overpriced, way too expensive for people to actually afford something they've given as offering. And what the church has stated that is meant for the general public in the church, for their children to be able to attend school. But then you see that once the school is stabilized, your child as a normal person cannot even be able to afford the school fees. And so I've definitely had issues with my family concerning my faith, because my faith is definitely different from theirs. They're very Christian home, and I do try to respect them by not speaking loudly about my faith sometimes. But I can be restricted for a really long time. Sometimes I try to curtail myself, but then I behave the way I'm meant to behave sometimes, because the church have proven that they're very hypocritical. And today, they really proved my point.
Okay, before we get into you going into the church, what's your educational background? And are you Igbo? Or I can see because you're going to Anambra a lot. Are you Igbo?
Yes, I am.
What
I'm
part of
Igbo.
Anambra?
I'm from Ozubulu.
Ozubu. Oh, okay. That's close to my wife's place. She's from Oka.
Okay.
You know where that is?
Yes, I do.
Amobia.
Okay. I do know where that is.
Okay. So, glad to know that you're my sister-in-law, in quote. Tell me a bit about your educational background.
I graduated from mass comm. I majored in mass communication in Anambra State University.
Okay.
I graduated last 3 years, and ever since then, due to the low job opportunities, I decided to create my own company. I run a cleaning agency. I also am into real estate, and I'm also a farmer. So yeah. So these are the
Wow.
companies I do.
Fresh like round of applause for you. I'm so proud of you. I'm more proud of you for what you're doing with yourself than even the church issue. I'm proud that a young lady like you is not hopping from man to man. I'm proud that a young lady like you is not sitting down waiting for handouts. I'm proud that anybody that says they're a farmer, you know that farming is not a social media job, is a real job. Cleaning also is a real job. How many staff do you employ in your cleaning company?
Well, it depends on the building that I'm cleaning. I don't keep permanent employers. I tend to work with freshers, so I have to be there physically. That's why I travel a lot. Because when it comes to cleaning, it depends on how you clean your house. That's how you get more clients. So a lot of people, they tend to be offhand. Like, okay, I've already taught you how to do this. Why don't you go and do it yourself? And you end up seeing that they do very shitty job for you. So for me, I know the work. I learned the work. So I go personally up and close. I go and I get to meet a lot of freshers, people who have never really done the work. So I bring them to the site. I teach them what to do. I'm always there to train for
Actually,
2 days.
you don't do oga.
No, you can see my figures. It's actually stayed because I just finished
Let me
the
see those.
latest one.
Oh, they're more beautiful than manicure because this is the fingers of hard labor. And where we need Nigeria to be, everybody just sits down. Oh, Nigerian government wants to kill us. Government is bad, but they're not ready to put it to work.
I have way too much ego to allow a man detect my life because it's giving me a little cash. So I decided it's time for me to be hands-on, and I created my own opportunities for myself, not waiting for the government. And I'm really proud because whoever I worked for, they are always praising my work because I don't do a shitty job and I'm always there. I don't just leave my work and then go. I will be there until the work is finished and correct and do the things I can do by myself. And I tend to save more because I'm there. Because if I'm supposed to employ 6 people, I will employ 5 people, and then I'll do what the 6th person is supposed to do. So that's that's
That's
what I do.
That's
And
lovely. About your farm. Where's your farm located?
it's
How?
my farm is also located here in Anambra State. Now it has a base. It's actually my village. So we deal in poultry, pigs, and we just started rearing dogs, but it's not fully breeded. But the poultry is really going really well, and I started
Many
hatchery.
birds you have?
Mm?
How
How
many
many?
birds you have?
Okay, we are close to 3,000 now.
And you own this?
No, I invested in my family. So I have my own path there. What I do is hatchery basically. So I hatch my chicks and then I distribute to states. So that's what I
Wow.
do. Yeah, and I'm planning on trying to involve some restaurants at Lagos to see if they'll be getting my produce from me. But because that I'm currently still doing my cleaning thing, so I decided to just put that on hold. Then after which I'll continue. And also I started a show with my friend. um it's more like bringing awareness to basically my enterprise, everything I do, because the
Okay.
social media is basically where the world is at right now when it comes to
Oh,
business.
absolutely. You don't want to lose out on that either.
I don't want to lose out on that either. So I started something with my friend. I purchased all the equipment and we starting the show soon. But I wanted to stabilize my business before we finally go full on. But then when this started, I just couldn't stay quiet. But I think people had the wrong notion that I was doing this for the wrong reasons.
Let's talk about SARS. What has your personal experience been with SARS?
Oh my God. First of all, these people traumatized me when I was in school. I think I was in my 300 level. In school,
Mm.
people tend to have the misconception that I was a runs girl because of my appearance. So, and
What
also because I was having,
runs, girl?
uh,
What about
I,
your appearance? Look like you runs.
okay, because me, I'm not really a fully clothed person. I don't like showing skin, but still I don't dress like a reverend sister.
Oh,
And
okay.
exactly, and then I tend to have a little cash, and then this they see me that I'm pretty, that I have a nice body. There is no way that I'm not selling my body to get the cash. Forgetting the fact while I was in school, I worked as a masseuse because I did.
Only
I was
you, media. Only you, masseuse. Only you, real estate. Only you, farmer. Only you, hatcher. Only you, cleaner. Ha!
I had
So that
to
you actually
anyway
know how to.
money. Well,
You know how to massage. You know how to massage.
exactly. My family is just enjoying it because I'm doing it for free for them now. I no longer do it for work. I just do it for pleasure now. So back
Hmm.
in school, it was something that was giving me a little bit of cash, and then my family was also helping me a lot. They were
Hmm.
really helping me cash wise too. It wasn't like they left me stranded. They really did help me. So one day, one person came over to my place. I just recently moved to the place. He knocked on the door. I opened up. So he was asking for the former occupants of my room. I said, okay, the person already moved out, but the person was in my department. That was going to get across to the person. If this person wants to get to meet you, so after the whole conversation, I got both of them to talk. I thought that was the end of it, but then he started texting me, asking me out. I felt it was really disrespectful for you to do something like that, especially the way he was feeling really entitled, asking me out, like he personally owns me. So I said there was no way I was going out with you. I was very respectful. Whoever knows me knows that before you get me to react, you actually do have to be disrespectful towards me. So after I rejected this young man, I never knew he had a relationship with the SARS. Next 5 to 10 minutes, I heard a bang on the door. I was really surprised. Okay, no, first they called me, said, am I so and so person? I said yes. But the way they were sounding, I felt it was just scam or something. So I ended the call. And then I heard a bang. And I tried to open the door, and then I saw people with guns blazing. So I tried to shut my door. They opened my door. They started slapping me. They started beating me up in my room. So the first thing I did was to throw my phone inside my wardrobe. Is a little bit of a closet inside that you can't actually get your hands into. So I threw my phone there. I was not asking what was my crime. The next thing they said was, I'm a thief, that I stole some jewelry. I say, take a good look at my room. Do I genuinely look like someone that is going to steal something? My room doesn't look like a student's room. So why am I going to take a pair of jewelry from someone I've never met in my life? So I said they should ask this young man to bring his phone. They didn't allow me to say nothing else. They bundled me and they put me inside the bus, took me to the station, and they brought pieces of glass and they were threatening to use it on me to design my face. They're going to disfigure my face. They're going to do that. So I was scared, but I didn't really know how to react at that point, because even if I called my family, what exactly am I supposed to tell them? They are going to believe that definitely I must have done something for them to have arrested me, which was false. And then the story they were cooking up was seriously absurd. So at a point, I refused to cry. I refused, even after they slapped me, I refused to cry. So they were like, so I don't want to cry, bah, that I'm proving stubborn. I said, I'm not proving stubborn. I want to know exactly what I did. And then he kept on mentioning a particular jewelry, but he never saw nothing like that in my room. He never searched my room, nothing like that. He just started slapping me and beating me up. So they used the bottle to hit my face. So they arrested some couple of guys. They were just laying down. So it was really embarrassing for me. And then one person left, and then the other one came to me and said, if you agree to date me, I will die the whole matter. That's when it hit me that these people were not abusing me because of the other person. They were trying to get me to sleep with them. And when that other one left, the other one said the same thing to me. If you agree to date me, if you agree to be with me, that I'm going to let you go.
As in uniform, said this
exactly.
To you.
And then they
Now,
said,
maybe if what's your stature like? Are you tall? What's your height?
I'm not. I'm 5'4". I'm not tall.
Okay,
I'm 5'4".
so because of your size, they were trying to intimidate you. Could that be the reason?
I don't know what their reason was, but they were very notorious back in school. Everyone knew Sars. They called them the assassins. They kill, I don't know whether they do, but the rumors were they kill people. That was the rumors. And so when they were threatening to throw me in some pits that dead bodies were, they were just threatening with a lot of things, trying to get me to succumb to their demands. It was way too traumatizing for me, because I was now thinking, so if I die here, what's now going to happen? Or because I said no to these people, or because I refused to sleep with them, to date them, and they were dealing with me. It was already 12 p.m. So they took me to a room and threatened to throw me inside with the notorious female cultists, that these people, that they will deal with me tonight, they will do so and so, that I should agree to what they were telling me, and they will let me go. I said, whatever you want to do to me tonight, you can, but be rest assured it's not going to be ending very good for you. So they are saying, who is my father? I said, I don't know, but the only thing I know is that I have people that will fight for me. That's all I kept on repeating to myself. And I refused to show weakness, though I was broken inside. I was definitely broken inside. But Sars is not people that you stand up too tall, they will definitely cut you to size. So
Mm.
at a point, one person took me to the side, inside his car. I said, let's talk. Let me explain to you. Just accept. It's not just sex. Just accept. I will take care of you. That he's an aye. These people were admitting to me they were cultists. I know their faces. I know their faces. It's still in my memory. I can never forget their faces. They were
Oh, wow.
admitting to me that they were cultists, that don't worry, that nobody's going to look for my trouble in school. I told the man to take me home, that if you are not going to arrest me, you just have to take me from wherever you brought me out from. That was the only thing I kept on repeating. And they were still asking me that my guts is something, that why wasn't I crying? I said, I'm not going to be crying for nobody, not even for you. Whatever, I had bruises on my body from the slaps and the punches they gave to me, but for some reason, I refused to shed a tear for these people. So when they saw that whatever it is they were doing, we're not getting anywhere, they took me back to my place and then took my phone number. I said, don't worry, that they'll protect me, that if I just agree, they'll do so, so, and so. I just say, okay, thank you, bye-bye. And that was the end of it until we were traveling. That was when I think I graduated. And then we were traveling to, I think I was traveling to Lagos. And then SARS people around Benin, they stopped us, searched the buses, and then asked the young man to calm down, searched his bag, didn't see anything incriminating, but still asked us to leave the young man there and leave. They took him into the bushes. I don't really know what they did with the boy, but the driver had to drive off. And yeah, we prayed for him for a little bit, but we don't know exactly what his his fate is, because while we were going, we were still looking back and checking if he was still there, but they're now taking him inside the bush. We're now asking, is that where the SARS office is? Why are they taking this boy deep into the bush? And when it comes to Benin Road, checkpoints are, you cannot go 10 feet without seeing a checkpoint. Checkpoints of SARS people are all over the place, and they are quite intimidating. But I don't think they are as notorious as Okuzu SARS. I'll keep on repeating Okuzu SARS. Okuzu SARS dealt with me,
I'm
dealt
here
with people
for
I
Kuzu's
know.
first time. I've never heard of them before.
For some reason, they are hiding them, but no more. Okuzu SARS is a notorious, heartless assassins. Allegedly assassins. They haven't killed no one in front of me.
So yes, be careful. Don't make any allegations that you
I
cannot.
can't make exactly. I can't make any allegations. So it's allegedly. So a lot of you have had bad experiences with SARS people, but I'm talking from personal experience I had with Okuzu SARS. It was not a pleasant one, and all because I refused their advances. And God forbid if they could do this to me, what exactly are they going to do to other people? So
Mm.
and my friend also, though they accused him of being a cultist and everything, that they exchanged bullets, but I highly doubt it, died in the hands of Okuzu SARS to my final year. We buried him and everything, but we just went with the story that he was a cultist, but we don't think he was, because he never acted or behaved like one. But we went with the story. So that
Wow.
is my experience.
So when you saw the current protests with the colleague you lost, your personal experience, the young man in the bush, and all these things, you were moved to join the EndSARS protest, right? How did
Yes,
you
I
feel
was.
about the EndSARS protest when you first started hearing about it?
When I started hearing about the EndSARS, I was excited. I
Wow.
was overwhelmed. I felt that finally I would get my justice, even though not physically directed at them. But I would get a little bit of satisfaction if it had ended, because what they did to me lasted for 1 year. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep properly. I had bad insomnia. I'll sleep and I'll have nightmares. So sometimes I'll wake up sweating profusely. I mean, I've never really experienced something like that, and I never told my family. Today was the first time I admitted to my family what happened back in school. I swallowed everything. So I'm sorry, I'm coming really emotional because
Okay. It's okay.
I just do not want to. Oh my god, no. I don't want to remember exactly what Okuzo Sars made me go through, because I feel like a lot of people have more horrible stories than what I did, especially because I came out with my life, and
Mm.
sorry, the electricity just went off.
It's okay. It happens even here in my estates. It's okay.
So the thing is,
But at least
um,
they didn't manhandle you in any way. They didn't
they did, they manhandled me.
apart from
They
the beat,
beat me
they
up.
didn't manhandle you in a sexual way.
No, they didn't. They
Thank
were
God.
just touching me inappropriately, but no, I wasn't sexually harassed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Continue your story time the light comes, or do you have
Yeah,
an?
they're going. Yeah.
Just continue talking. Listen, we can hear
Okay.
you.
So.
This
Okay.
this
So.
darkness will help you wipe your.
Yeah. Thank you. So.
Pele.
Okuzu SARS is people they really do need to look into. They really do need to go in there, because there is a rumor. I don't know. There is a rumor that says that they have a pit that they drop dead people, and then their neighbor kept on saying that they hear gunshots every night, and then wailing, that they cut people up and then they sell for rituals. That's rumor. I cannot confirm. But whenever you talk to an Okuzu SAS member, they keep on threatening you with the pit. They are going to drop you in the pit if you do not take your time. So with the whole threat, it seems that there is a slightly bit of truth in it. I do not know. But I feel like the government needs to check on Okuzu SARS. And ending the SARS is not going to do nothing. Ending the SARS is just 2% of what we are fighting for. Total police reformation is what we need, because they are still there. They are just not called SARS anymore. But they're still parading with their guns and harassing people, doing a lot of damage to people mentally, like they did to me. The thing is, my family didn't really understand the reason why I actually took to the church. I do understand that a lot of people saw me as brave for going into the church, but I did it actually for myself, because I was too traumatized by the whole experience, and I just needed something to give me a little bit of my power back. And I felt going to the church was going to give me that. And it made me feel a little bit better, but not 100%, because the damage already has been done. And then people kept on saying that I should go to the mosque and do this. And I keep wondering, how am I supposed to go to a religion I have no relationship with? I do not hear that language. I don't know what their teaching is. know nothing about that, and still people still feel like I'm acting brave, that I'm not brave. I'm just acting it because I will not go to the mosque. If I go to the mosque, I'm probably looking for trouble, not because I'm scared of them, but because I'm not part of them. I didn't grow up in an Islamic family. So what exactly am I going there to do? The only reason I went to the church and I disrupted the service was not because I was trying to chase clouds. It was because the numerous times that the church has refused to speak up, but they are very quick to collect tithe.
Church, I wish I could see your face when we're talking. They've not brought these lights.
Let me quickly ask them. On one day, say I buy small gen. Okay, they have.
Oh, thank God. Thank. So I want because people want to make eye contact with you and connect with you over your experience, especially with regards to going into the church, because a lot of people, I got quite a lot of questions from people when I said I was going to interview you. People were like, why are you interviewing her? Number one, is it the right medium? Why didn't she go to the streets? Why did she go to the church? What was she trying to achieve? It seems like her mind was made up from the beginning that the church was not going to support her. She only went there with people to record her to demonstrate this. Another person said, did you approach the priest initially and were you ignored? Why didn't you wait till the end of the service to speak? Someone said, are you Catholic? Do you understand the importance of the church sermon? Your action was good, but was it the right forum? So what answer do you have to these questions that people were raised? I'm sure you've also heard your own share of questions.
Yes. The reason why I did not wait for the service to end is because even if I went after the service, nothing would have been done. No one would have heard me, and I feel like it's a movement that I shouldn't do just for people to support me. It's a message I'm sending. If I'm sending a message, why am I taking permission? I have to take what I want. Yes, I'm using the word what I want. If I want to make something to happen, I have to disrupt something. Peacefully, obviously, because I didn't go there with any weapons. I simply and I respected the fact that I had to wait till they were preaching before I decided to do my protest. I didn't go when they started the mass. I respected that. The whole important things, I really did respect that. I went when they were preaching because I wanted the reverend to use that medium. I even wrote down the names of everyone being killed by SARS in a sheet of paper because I wanted the reverend, even though I knew they would bounce me out, but 2% of myself, I felt that probably he would do something, at least collect the sheet of paper from me, look through the names and call out the names of the people being killed by SARS. That's what I expected. I wasn't going there to take permission from nobody. If I wanted something to happen, I have to implement it. I have to shout it. I have to raise my voice. Because if I didn't, it's quiet. It's so quiet. People around the world wouldn't know that this is happening, and they wouldn't go to their church to question their pastors, their reverends, and everybody. Why didn't you do this? Because it wasn't sound, it wasn't loud. If you want something to happen, that is why we are protesting in the streets. Why don't we sit at home and call the government and say, sir, I want to take permission, I want to come and protest? Did we do any of that? So why is it different when it comes to the church? Why do I have to take permission from the church to march to the altar and demand something to happen? Nobody demanded from the government to move to the streets to protest because we knew that things were done wrongly. So they marched to the streets to demand that something changes. So why exactly is the church given a preferential treatment? I want to understand why the church has to have some special place in
I totally understand you. And although are you a Catholic?
I'm not. I do not. I do not believe I am
Okay,
one.
but were you ever a Catholic?
I
Because a lot of
was.
people, you were. Okay, fantastic. So you weren't out of place going to your former church. Now, you see, I personally respect the Catholics because they try to stay, like they stayed out of karma, they stay out of controversies. But I would have wished that they lent their voices, especially our fathers and reverends, whom I respect. I really would have loved them to lend their voice to this. Because you see, unlike what the church has become today, Christ's sermons were disrupted. People would shout, teacher, tell this man to share our father's inheritance with me. There was an instance where Martha went to meet Christ and said, look, isn't it unfair that Mary Magdalene Mary is sitting at your feet when she could be helping me in the kitchen? So people were allowed to speak up. And you see, all protocols, in my humble opinion, could have been put aside in the sensitivity of this time. And the church also needs to be reminded, like, I agree that maybe the method was wrong, but the church still needs to be reminded that in John chapter 21, verse 18, Christ said, if he was speaking to Peter, he said, if you love me, take care of my sheep. You can't take care of the sheep when they're being exploited, when they're being harassed, when they're being manipulated. And the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 8 says, speak up for those who cannot speak themselves. Ensure justice for those who are being crushed. And Proverbs chapter 31, verse 9 says, yes, speak up for the poor and the helpless and see that they get justice. So if the church had spoken up and then when you went to that church, was there any EndSARS banner?
No. They
Was
avoided the whole
about
conversation.
EndSARS? Did the priest mention EndSARS in any way?
Nothing. They avoided
So,
the whole conversation.
so I agree that the priest was, or the church was, from my humble opinion, not really catering to John chapter 21, verse 15, 16, and 17, and Proverbs chapter 31, verse 8 and 9. So, although I would feel that it's not right to go and interrupt a service, so you could have done. But when I see when I see when I see the lack of empathy, when I see the issues on ground, and I see that nobody is speaking, especially with the power religion has. Religion has political power. Religion has financial power. When they have this much power, and yet they are silent on what the sheep are going through, I would look away from any unorthodox method of getting the attention of the people. And now that you've told me your story, I'm glad I didn't just carry you on and say, what happened? I'm glad I built you up from the beginning. We picked up on what you do for a living. So you're not just a riffraff girl that is looking for how to trend. From your own account, you're a hardworking citizen who's been through a lot and who's not received what they expect to receive from the church. I hope I put that in perspective properly.
Yes, you did.
So thank you for joining us live, and thank you for lending your voice. I'll still say I wish you had seen the priest in private and all that, but if you had seen the priest in private, we won't be having this conversation today.
Exactly.
I do get that. Before today, had you heard of me before?
Of course, I've been following you for years.
Are you serious?
Yes, I have been.
The moment I saw your video, I'm like, something in my spirit said that Ifreeze, you need to speak with this girl. You need to speak with this girl. So I'm following you back right now, and I'm sure we'll definitely chat from time to time. You are the image of a Nigerian woman. And let me tell you what. One, you are hardworking. Two, you're enterprising. You can be hardworking without being enterprising. You are both. 3, you are a pool of ideas. 4, you do not need a man to take care of you. 5, you are brave and outspoken. This is the Nigerian woman tradition and religion killed.
Thank you, sir.
And I know I cannot agree with your method 100%. I also would find going into a religious setting or a church setting and disrupting them a bit off. But if that's the only way to pass the message, I don't know any alternative. So I'll just keep quiet, because the message was definitely passed. On my page alone, I think your video was viewed 82,000 times, or by 82,000 people. Sorry,
Wow.
80,333 views on my YouTube, sorry, on my Instagram, and about 40,000 on my Facebook.
Oh my
So
God. That's huge.
from me alone, over 100,000 views. Then you had another 100,000 from Instagram and whoever else. So a minimum of 300,000 to 500,000 people saw what you did today. And whether we like it or not, even if we're going to disagree with her method, we cannot disagree that the church has been silent, and silence is violence. In a time when people are going through what they're going through, silence is violence. So I'm definitely going to keep chatting with you. Thank you so much, my sister. Do take care of yourself. I wish you all the best in your enterprise. Don't look for Sars.
I won't.
All right. And hopefully there won't be any Sars for anybody to look for their trouble anymore. But this one that the police, because when we finish ending this Sars, what happens to police? They just come back to the police and they'll be absorbed, and it will be like nothing happened. It's all right. I don't want to hear about pits. I don't want to hear about extrajudicial killings. I don't want to hear about any of those things anymore. What is bad must end, and it must end now. Thank you so much, and sorry for your ordeal. I'll definitely.
Thank you very much. I really do appreciate. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.